All right. Everybody, welcome to the May Town Hall. My name is Chris Netto. I'm just going to let you guys file in, grab a seat, take a seat. Hope you guys are enjoying the May weather, wherever you are, this part of the country or the world for that matter. For those of you that are possibly watching this from Europe and from ISC, thank you for taking a break to watch that. Man, that'd be very comforting to know that you guys are watching this from overseas, and jealous as well, because the weather that is appearing out of Barcelona is much nicer than the weather I'm currently experiencing here in Jersey. So this is called a little intro small talk while you guys are filing in. Once you guys are, I see that there's a decent amount in the room and it's kind of leveled off, I will bring in our featured guest this week. Wow. Days, months, weeks, what's the matter? What's the difference? This month, we are joined by AVer. So AVer is going to come fresh off of their ISC releases to explain what they released and the new products that came out just this week at ISC in Barcelona. We will have a good overview of at least two brand new products that are coming to market. And for everybody that is coming with intentions of, hey, where can I see it? You are going to see these products in a few weeks at Infocom in Vegas. So just hold on tight. I'm just going to give it another few seconds, and then I'm going to cut out, and we're going to kick off the May Town Hall. And just, by the way, before I officially kick it off, just some housekeeping rules. Q&A, hit that Q&A button down at the bottom. That is where we encourage everybody and everyone that is watching this to drop your questions. Our folks from AVer are able to answer any questions that you guys have. You're more than welcome to put them in there. And you know what? At the very end, nobody comes here for just product tech and all that sort of information. At the end, we will be giving away a prize. So stick around to the very end because we're doing a giveaway. And that's for one of the lucky audience members. So let's go ahead and start. It's about that time. I'll start from the beginning. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the May Town Hall. My name is Chris Netto. I am the Market Development Manager here at Starin, currently coming from a place not necessarily where you guys are used to, but unfortunately my office and studio has been kind of in rebuild mode for a little bit. I apologize. My schedule is not allowing me to do what I want to do in that space as quickly as possible. So I hope you guys bear with me as I sit in a not quite the most optimal space, but I'm here for you. I'll make it happen. We are joined today by Carl Harville from AVer. How are you, Carl?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
It's great. It's great coming off the heels of our first real AV trade show. What we're seeing coming out of Barcelona is all very positive. Today, the estimates of 47,000 people in attendance is positive, considering that no more than 6 people 6 feet apart was the standard 2 years ago. So it's a positive thing that we're seeing coming out. And it's never just about the people just showing up in quantities and quality and all that sort of stuff. We're here for some technology nuggets because that's what we truly are at our core. We're just a bunch of nerdy geeks when it comes to it. So we want to hear the scoop. But first of all, let's start with a little background on AVer and yourself, sir. What is your role and what does AVer do for the folks that are joining us?
All right. Well, my name is Carl Harville. I'm the Director of Product for the U.S. At AVer. And AVer's been in the video conferencing game, I would say, for a long time, well over 10 years, I think 15 years. We started off with doing H.323 SIP-based codecs, but, slowly transitioned over to the USB peripheral side. And we have been very successful in working with different companies out there like Zoom, BlueJeans, RingCentral, Microsoft Teams to produce high quality devices or cameras, speakerphones, video bars to power like Zoom rooms.
Sounds great. I mean, it's a well-known name. It's been around for many years. I know them more on their AVer Media days. Back in the day was the only way to convert, your analog video into your digital stuff. So that's how my first introduction was. And that was pre, getting into the video conferencing conversation. It's a separate group, but it's kind of still part of the same family. I would say that.
Yeah, exactly. That's our sister company. And we definitely cross-pollinate in a lot of different technology.
Awesome. So let's get right to it. Let's move on to the next slide and let's talk about some things that AVer is up to. And let's first start off. I love these. All right. 5 years ago, these were the de facto standards to designing rooms. When I was working with as a consultant or with integrators, you always had to try to catalog the rooms. But cataloging these rooms meant that you had to find the technology in its place that fit into the spaces. So let's talk about huddle, small, medium, large rooms and the products that you guys have that fit into that. I'm going to address it right now. You know what? No, let's go right to it. Let's talk about what is the difference now between small and huddle. It's a very, very different world. Obviously, this is an updated slide. Give me what AVer is doing in the small and huddle space area, and the medium, large ones we'll definitely get to as well.
It's definitely changing. It's definitely changing a lot. I mean, you look at all of the requirements that are out there from, let's say, like Google's meeting room guides and or like Microsoft Teams certification guidelines out there, and or Zooms. They say they want so many different field of view cameras that can hit like a huddle room that would probably seat like 1 to 4 people, but the table's against the wall, so they want that wide angle lens. Or even the small collaboration areas that have 4 to 7 people, but the table's probably back and more lengthwise. And so you want to be able to zoom in like past 15 feet, in which sometimes those 120-degree field of view cameras can't get really past 12 feet without looking grainy and weird. So one thing we noticed, though, is especially as people returning back in, from being, working from home mode and offices are open up with conference rooms, is that the room configurations are changing a lot as well. And so because of that, we've actually been aiming with technology to be able to blend all those rooms together, so you could actually have one device that could sit not only from the huddle room, but all the way up to the medium room. And so there's a couple of different ways you could do that. You could either increase the optics and optical zoom on a lens, and or make cameras with multiple lenses. So little small things like that, as well as microphones that pick up better and or additional microphones within video bars, so you could actually tune them up for different distances as well. So it's
those are the key ingredients from as a manufacturer that you're looking at in defining these spaces now, is the optics and obviously the field of view and the microphone pickup. Obviously, all classic standards that you need when looking at this. Regardless of what people are labeling it, you're finding that those two are, the huddle and the small. And just looking at some of the products that you have here, the Cam 130 and the 340 Plus kind of blend between the huddle and the small. I think, nobody's ever really gotten in trouble for upsizing or for going with a bigger, more feature-rich camera, especially when it comes to rooms that are questionable. Because today, many integrators and many designers are designing what they think is a huddle space today. And then when the customers come in, they take those 2 seats that were in the back and remove them completely. And now it's a 2-person room, or maybe that huddle space is just a 1-person room to begin with. But having the better quality optics is always an advantage regardless. So tell me about, some of the products that you have that fit into the huddle and small, and which ones are you finding really good success with in those 2 spaces?
So, and it's kind of interesting because, there's also another category, I guess you could say, on the left side, which is, power user home office, if you want to, if you want to keep trickling down there and, go with a phone booth as well. But, within the last year, we did come out with 2 devices that worked really well, going through the certification routes between Zoom and Microsoft, which is the Cam 130 and the VB130. Actually, one of them that I'm on now is the VB130, because it is a very small form factor video bar that would be able to sit not only between huddle, but to small conference rooms. And if you look at the settings in there, we had some settings to make the field of view for either a long room, which will be like a 90-degree field of view, or a wide room for 120-degree field of view. And so we've noticed all of those different use case scenarios where you could actually make changes to customize for the conference rooms have been successful for us. But as we advance with new technology and, with ISE and as well as Infocom coming out, that we're coming out with new products that have not only built-in optical zoom lenses, but also secondary lenses, those small changes that we did help to enhance those devices as well. So you actually get a very powerful feature to not only put something into a huddle room, but then have that same SKU be able to go up to medium size rooms. So from an IT administrative perspective, it really breaks down the BOM list as far as brings it down that you would have to support and helps out with IT administrative overhead.
And your VB series, if I'm correct, because I don't have the models here in front of me, but the VB series is the one that has the little light built in.
Yep.
And people do not sleep on the fact that adding a little extra light will not hurt you. It actually will help. Having that a little bit of extra light is a difference maker when it comes to quality of video. As you guys all know, as video professionals, adding a little bit of extra light makes a big difference. Currently, I'm struggling because I'm sitting in a room that's not well lit to begin with. That little bit of additional lighting is great. And to be honest with you, how many folks are going to really, in a professional setting, have studio lights set up? So having it kind of built into the camera is a space saver. It's efficient and it's smart because you get that just enough to possibly light up an area or a shadow on a face that would make it that much more.
It shaves out 5 years easily.
And I could use, can you have any that guarantee at least 10 years? I need a 10-year shave off at some point because the years are starting to add up. So we've talked about the small, we've talked about the huddle, right? Because those are kind of blended. But let's go to what is near and dear to many people in this medium to large conference rooms. This is where a lot of people and a lot of folks, a lot of integrators like to play in, because this one, for the most part, has never been just a simple, for lack of a better term, a hang and bang. We're used to hang the TV, bang it out, put some nails, put it up there, and then just walk away. Those have always been kind of like, that's where we have really earned our keep, because this is where AV people get creative. We had secondary cameras, we had control systems, better sound, better lighting. How are you guys addressing the medium and large conference rooms?
Oh, just like it is with the huddle and small, we are blending them together now and creating video bars and or devices that can sit in those rooms. So, previously with video bars, a lot of people would put them in huddle rooms, small conference rooms. But now, they're starting to get into the medium and large rooms. And that's thanks to a couple of different things, either multiple lenses and or optical zoom lenses. And so with that, we are coming out with that VB342 Pro that we'll probably get into more detail a little bit later. But this setting up an optical zoom lens, a 4K lens, not only helps out with the digital zooming, but getting you past that 15-foot mark, which a lot of cameras and or video bars were having issues getting past. So that will definitely help you get to that person at the head end of the room, which is probably the more important person in the meeting. But when you start getting into large conference rooms, there's that's where people start becoming little blips on the screen, and that's where you start getting people talking about meeting equity, as far as being able to have everybody look as good, whether they're working from home and or if they're in a conference room and they are not as zoomed in compared to the other person. And so you want to be able to crop the image, manipulate it, and get everybody looking the same. So
sounds great. I mean, I can't wait till one day where I really confuse all you manufacturers and bring you guys in and then put like a glass room in the middle of Infocom and say, figure this one out, tough guys. Go ahead, figure out how you're going to get through the natural light, the unnatural light, all the sound vibrations. This is some of the struggles that we have.
My first thought was sound. I'm like, oh man, that's going to mess with the voice tracking.
I had a project like that at one point at a previous job, where it was a floating conference room that went over an expanse and very little pathways to get from the monitor to the table to begin with. Audio was a challenge because the whole room was made out of glass, including the ceiling, because the glass were those transition glasses that would go opaque to give you privacy. And
so they thought that was fine for like, for the camera and the video and all that kind of stuff. But
you have no idea what it was like. And it was encased in the middle of a building that was completely out of glass, including the roof with solar panels. So it was filtering natural light in. At certain times, you were completely in the shadows. Probably one of the craziest.
Because I think I've been in it before.
No, this one was in New Jersey, and it was one of the craziest jobs I ever worked on. Burning, the microphones, which they only wanted one microphone at the center of the table for a table that's at 20 people, and it was an Italian marble table that was like hand chiseled, for all I know. Some of these projects can get wacky. Love to bring manufacturers in, and when they walk into that and their eyes pop out of their heads, that was always a fun time to be in. But anyway, I digress.
That's usually when I go into rooms like that. When I go into rooms like that, I usually clap because it makes it sound like I know what I'm doing. But that's about all I do.
I challenge people to be in there for more than 15 minutes without feeling sick. Yeah. That your audio brethren would have an absolute ball in those rooms with trying to figure out how to make that without adding tapestries or any type of things to stop those harsh surfaces. So challenge given, and we did somehow had to figure out a way to get around it, and we did, and I'm very happy with the solutions we had. But anyway, let's move on to the next slide, because this is what we're here for. This is the brand new AVer VB342 Pro, just released at Infocom excuse me. Wow, I'm jumping ahead. The future me is telling you just released at Infocom, but let's step it back a bit. This is just released in ISE Barcelona. So at ISE, you guys brought this to market. Tell me about the VB342 Pro video bar.
All right, so this one is actually our third version of a video bar. We had the VB342, we had the VB342 Plus, and us with our great naming conventions, we came out the VB342 Pro, which actually adds in a 3.3 times optical zoom lens for this 4K device. So now you're able to zoom in up to about 25 feet away. With a mechanical pan and tilt. So it's a mechanical pan tilt zoom video bar that has 10 microphones built within it, as well as an HDMI out port. So you could actually go USB 3.0 into the video bar from your laptop, and then HDMI to your TV, and be able to share not only monitor, microphone, speaker, and camera into the laptop for a really nifty BYOD solution.
Yeah, pretty cool. And well, it's funny you talk about the naming conventions. On a side note, I bet the working project name was like something cool, like Phoenix or the Corvette, or whatever you guys give your top secret names to the projects that you're working on, and then it comes out, it's a 342 Pro.
It's
much cooler in development than when it comes out, but it makes sense because you guys are following in line with the existing names, and that's great. So tell me, this is going to be my Wolf of Wall Street moment. If you know and like that movie, if you don't, there is a scene where they say, "Sell me this pen, sell me this video bar." Carl, tell me what it is about this video bar that makes it special or makes it different.
Oh, this is the USB peripheral that will not only do everything from voice tracking to presentation tracking, but also be able to do audio fencing and all the nifty tricks, but it's still just a USB peripheral. So you're not forced to actually buy an Android OS or compute with it. And so that's why if you go to the next slide, you'll notice that it comes in at that $12.99 price point for MSRP.
Excellent. Let's go into the spec sheet. Here we go. This is what we all know and love. Let's hit the spec sheets. It does the USB 3.1. It has the 12 times zoom, 4K. Tell me why 4K when most are not at 100% full K. And when I say most, not your competition. I'm talking about the video services that are out there that are typically pushing out maybe not 4K. But why go with 4K?
No, I mean, usually, like this video call, for instance, we're probably doing 1080p or 720p because, we don't want to send out a 4 megabit stream and kill our internet connection. So usually it gets up to 1080, but then you realize from the camera to the computer, there's a lot of new technologies out there like Smart Gallery or Front Row, in which it will take an image, manipulate it, crop people, put them either side by side or put point layout gallery view, and is a lot easier compared with phone. You know, if you take a low quality picture with your phone and you try to pinch and zoom, you'll notice that it just doesn't look as good compared to the higher quality, 4K images that you might take with that camera. So in the same sense, being able to crop out people, manipulate the image, and then shoot it back out to the service would look a lot better with 4K compared to 1080p.
Sounds good, and you bring good reason to go and try to work with your customers for the audience that is here. Many of our integrator partners needed, a reason or a better way to maybe explain to folks that you need to step up beyond just 1080p or 720p in their current existing systems. A lot of people are trying to reuse technology, and with some forward thinking, you're now saying if you go ahead and you grab a 4K camera, you're now buying into the features that are being offered by your video service provider. That 4K, it's required in order to make those things happen. So that's a very interesting way to talk about 4K. It's not just, hey, 4K, you can see me in better color and clarity and sharpness, but now you're still looking at a feature set that is here today that requires that technology in order to make that happen. That's excellent.
No, exactly. And it's one of those types of situations too. A while ago, I wouldn't have said, "Oh yeah, you definitely need a 4K camera. It's a must." I would have stuck with the 1080p camera, like in the Cam 520 Pro. You would have been good. But now, like you just said, future proofing. I changed my answer. That's
future proofing for a long time meant you pulled a cable or it left a string. That was the best future proofing I could ever recommend to anybody. Was, let's pull an extra wire and use it as or conduit to an area, and then that'll be the best you can do, because every customer wants to go out and buy the latest and greatest. And then when you talk to them about it, they're like, you know what, maybe we're not ready for the latest and greatest. But in this case, you're talking about a 4K camera. 4K has been around for a while. It's a proven technology. It's not going anywhere. If anything, 8K is in the horizon. We see it. It's there. Can't touch it. Maybe we could touch it. It's almost there. But right now, moving into the 4K realm is smart when it comes to the near future. I'm not talking about, the Jetsons future, folks. For those that know what the Jetsons are. If you don't, please Google it or check it out on YouTube. Anyway. Enterprise grade video PTZ bar lives up to its name. I'm impressed. The MSRP of $12.99. That obviously is a suggested retail price for the folks that are watching. Your Starin rep will be able to assist getting you pricing on that. But that gives you a number to start working with and start figuring out for, like I said, enterprise grade PTZ video bars. You guys make a decision on how that looks and how that appeals to you guys, and we can help you work with that. Let's go to the next announcement that you guys brought out at ISE, which is the 550. Now, I'm a big fan of the 520. Is this replacing it? That's my first question.
That's a great question. No, it is not going to replace the Cam 520. Okay. If anything, if you're familiar with our product brochures from the last 2 years or 3 years, this would be the replacement for the Cam 540 that was
Cam 540. Okay.
Yeah, the Cam 540.
So how does this take the 540 and make it that much better?
Okay, so the Cam 540 was our mechanical pan tilt zoom 4K camera that had a 3.3 optical zoom. So it was kind of designed for medium rooms. It would zoom in and get to about 25 feet comfortably without much distortion. And so it was a great camera for that. But this one here produces a 4K image with a 12 times optical zoom. So now instead of being hit at that 25-foot mark, now you're able to get to about 60 feet away with a really great image. This camera, you look at the way cameras are built. You got your lens, you got your image sensor, and then you have your SOC chip or the SOC, the system on a chip. That helps with the AI functionality and stuff. This is one of the first ones that we started using Qualcomm chipsets, and so really helps out with low lighting situations. We've already done a great job with it before, but now with this one really impressed me with that. So being able to use that Qualcomm chipset to do that image manipulation like we're talking about with either Front Row or Smart Gallery. Our PTZ app that we use to manage this actually has a Smart Gallery feature built within it. So you don't really need to you could use that and use a little bit of processing from the PC of your laptop or room compute to be able to have that smart gallery view with, let's say, like WebEx or BlueJeans or something. So you would definitely be able to expand that out. Now, with this camera, there was also another big request that we got, especially from integrators, which was, do you have something with an HDMI out port? And so this one not only has USB, has HDMI, but then it has built-in RTSP capabilities to be able to send that out from, using this as an encoder to go out to redistribute for streaming protocols. So.
One of the things that I noticed on that previous slide before we switched to the spec sheet, because everybody loves a good spec, I saw Starin's favorite emblem. It said Zoom certified.
Yep.
That is a Zoom certified product. So
it is a Zoom certified
little bit of assurance.
And actually to kind of go back onto that VB342 Pro, that has been Zoom certified as well. We just haven't made the press release for it yet. But we got the verbal on that, and the email that has gone and passed through all the certifications. And so when you look at Microsoft certification, we're past the lab part and we're going into subjective testing. So it's looking good on both fronts for both of these cameras.
For the audience at home, that is what we call a certified spoiler alert. So you guys have spoiled before. It's a spoiler if you're giving away the press release early. So there's an exclusive for you. Not that we're a news organization, but man, we actually love Scoop coming in through the Starin Town Hall, and I'm sure the audience appreciates that. That's awesome. And I also saw on that previous slide, because I'm letting the folks check out the spec sheet while we're chatting, AI technology. Tell me about AI technology. That seems to be, everybody's trying to incorporate that. Tell me what you guys are doing in this camera to make it special.
All right. So, I mean, people are probably familiar with like our automatic framing that we have, and being able to not only do people counting. We've been trying to do that for a good couple of years. We started off with face detection, then we're doing body detection. But if you notice with this camera, now we have a secondary lens built within it.
Yep.
And that secondary lens is constantly scanning the room because, we've been in a couple of use case scenarios where our optical zoom lens frames up somebody at the head end of the table, but has no idea if somebody's coming in from the sides through some doors. And so now this camera with that secondary lens will constantly scan the room and figure out if new people are coming in, do a people count, be able to do automatic framing and or tracking capabilities, depending upon if there's one person in the room, it'll track them. There's two people, then it'll do a framing technology. So it's really geared towards conference rooms, but it's all done on that system on a chip and not taking out processing power from a compute, or you wouldn't need to load other software to have that functionality within the Zoom room or the Microsoft Team room.
Taking the power or the horsepower away from the computer is one of the things that we can possibly forget when we're putting together these systems. Simply because, as a former technology manager, having a pre-bought, a corporate-owned PC being brought into a conference room, it did not have the juice on its all-in-one board to do some of the things that the computer owners wanted it to do. When you have 1,000 windows open and 100 programs going, they were great for those things, but you plugged in a USB camera and a USB microphone or some sort of peripheral. Next thing you know, that was the choke point. And guess who didn't want to hear that their computer was the reason why their meeting failed? So there was a lot of late night explanations of why somebody got angry because I said their computer needs to be upgraded, and I'm still apologizing for that 4 years later. So we'll get through it. I'm sure my therapist and their therapist will be fine. We're all good. It was just a meeting. It's all well and good. One of the things that I've noticed that is coming across on both spec sheet is a 3-year warranty. You guys are covering, you're backing up what you're saying about your products. That is a healthy thing. That is a respected thing amongst the audience. The integrators are out there doing their thing. Their unrivaled warranty, great. I can see it here on this slide. Thank you, producer Mark. Talking about this, getting a replacement sent to you within 72 hours. That's massively important, especially in a world of, get it now done and get it fixed and get it replaced and doing all that. So a 3-year warranty gives you a little bit of confidence, folks that are watching this town hall. So we can appreciate that, and support is coming directly from AVer. Folks, it's no lie. We do these town halls. We bring in our integrators to ask the questions. We are hoping you guys are putting questions into the Q&A, but we're here for you as integrators. The manufacturers, you need to know who they are and who they're standing behind their product. AVer bringing in the 3-year warranty is not playing. They're here and they want to be a part of the long-term future of you guys. What you guys are going out there and specifying for your customers, and coming out with a 3-year warranty gives you a little peace of mind. That is that's big. So thank you.
Oh yeah, and that's definitely one of those things that we kind of call out, especially within our internal competitive analysis and stuff. But there's no hidden cost, I guess you could say. So
excellent.
Everything is already built into the MSRP. So
yep, I see that the Q&A, my Q&A notifications lighting up. So you are going to get some questions at the end here, Carl. So be prepared, because we're going to try to do the stump the chump later and see if we can get you caught in saying some things.
I think we answered a couple of them. There's just 2 that have not been answered. So
yeah, we'll get there. You're not supposed to be looking at those questions until the very end. I'm supposed to surprise you with a lot of these. All right, let's move on to the next slide here. And the next slide that you guys have up here is why choose AVer? Great question. I'm giving you a positive. I already gave you the 3-year warranty that's in your corner. What else do we have to credit AVer with, and why should we partner up with AVer?
I mean, this answer is going to kind of roll into the next slide, but honestly, it's one of those types of things where, we could put up tech spec sheets of showing like, oh, look, our video bar has like 10 microphones or 5 microphones compared to like the competitor's 3 or 4 microphones, or we have a image sensor that is a little bit higher, and or any other tech spec with either higher numbers or lower values or something like that. But honestly, it does come down to quality. And when I say quality, that is matching what a lot of people are already used to with a mature video network. A lot of people have video networks that are probably on their 3rd or 4th generation, and they don't want to go to a new replacement that doesn't have good quality. And so, if you're going to replace out the old HI323 or SIP-based systems, and you had paid $15,000 for those systems, and the camera was an optical zoom that had really great quality, and or mainly the pan tilt zoom part of the mechanical portion. Those are only things that you could see in person when you touch film and listen and move things around. And so that's why kind of goes into our try and buy program. That's what we have a really good one.
Yeah. Now we have competing try and buy programs. You got yours and we got ours, which is nice, because at least we're both, honest enough to admit that we both want to get this product into people's hands, and that they have an opportunity to give it a fair shake before they go ahead and decide. Whether you're using the AVer program or the Starin try to buy, both good opportunities to, test the waters and to see if you guys, as integrators and as end users that are possibly listening on this call or on this video, if you guys are convinced that this is the way to go. I mean, what are we looking at? The camera right there, that's the 130?
That's the Cam 130 right there, yeah.
And that has a little light built in, which is great for small spaces, obviously, and for the work from home. Your Starin, going back to the try to buy, your Starin representatives are able to help you with the try to buy system. It's a very simple setup, like I said, or you can go directly through AVer. But you know what? You work with us. You're here with us. Give us a shot too on the try to buy and see if you like it. They're both great programs, and they're both ways to get the product in hand for you guys to show off what you guys are looking to do in the spaces. So that is an opportunity, and it's there. And let's get to the questions, because this is actually the last slide on the deck. So let's get to the Q&A and see what we can come out of this. Jared had asked, made a comment that the VB342 looks great. Then he asked about the warranty, but we addressed that. So it was a 3-year warranty. And the next question that came from Jared was, next slide answered it. Thank you, sir, for sending in the question. Appreciate it. And I hope that, the 3-year warranty is something good to have. Next question comes in from Tim. Tim is asking, is the video bar backwards compatible with USB 2.0? If so, what features are lost? Man, he went right south. We're going to lose something here. Tell me what's coming. Tell me what it has and what do I have to downgrade going to 2.0 as opposed to 3.1? So what is the difference? And can it be compatible with USB 2.0?
Yeah, so it'll be compatible with USB 2.0, but anytime you're going from 3.0 to 2.0, the biggest thing you're going to lose is bandwidth. And in that bandwidth, especially with cameras, you're losing out on resolution capabilities. So like we mentioned before, being able to do a video call with like Zoom, you're going to, make use of a 1080p video stream and or 720p. But you would not be able to pull down 4K and do a true 4K image. So if you're using like vMix or something to do image manipulation, you want to pull a 4K image out of the camera, you would need that 3.0 cable to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
also, good. You will not be able to use the display link technology that's built within it. You would need the USB 3.0 for it. So if you're going to do a BYOD solution and you want to make use of the HDMI out port, you're going to need that 3.0 connectivity.
Sounds good. Before I continue on with the questions, real quick, I want to play a quick game of show me what you have in your office. You have some of this technology in your space. If you don't mind to tell us what you're using, that'd be great.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, just to kind of show off right now for you guys.
We're definitely into the show off kind of thing right now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Show it off.
Oh, yeah. So this is the VB342 Pro. It is a lot bigger compared to the VB130. So this is definitely designed out for larger conference rooms.
So what would you say that's about a 3-foot bar in length?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 3 feet. So that device in itself. Let me kind of just show you here. So it is right now, I'm on the VB130, which if I were to show you, it's a lot smaller video bar, but it's a 4K image. And if I were to zoom in, you would see that this is about as far as you could zoom in. Right now. So, going up to that plant, that's about as far as you could zoom in. If I were to zoom all the way out, you'll notice that it is a very wide field of view lens. So I could sit on either side of the table, really great for huddle rooms. But if I'm going to switch this over to the VB342 Pro, now I'm on that camera. And so if I want to zoom in, let's just say to that plant, you'll notice that the optical zoom capabilities of that one are a lot more. So compared to that VB130, when you're looking at a video bar, this one with the digital and the optical zoom, you're able to cover up to 25 feet away. So it definitely helps out with that. But, if you don't want people messing around with camera control options as far as, control devices on the table, you want to set up the voice tracking capabilities. This one has microphones built within it to triangulate on your voice and be able to do audio tracking. So I'm going to turn that on right now. I'm going to start talking, and generally it's going to start moving in to me as I kind of get up and move around over here. And as I start talking, it's going to triangulate on my voice and kind of move towards me. So I set the response time on this pretty fast just for the demo capabilities of it. But with the audio tracking portion, really nifty feature with it just built in. Now, if you're in a room that has very hard reverberation, like my room, it's kind of an echo chamber in here. You could always set up presets to have a recall to presets when it triangulates on a specific area. But again, I have mine set to move around quickly. You could set the delay timer on it for 30 seconds, 15 seconds.
Customizable, having that customizable option is super important, especially when there's people with those hard rooms, or hardscape areas. That's awesome. The fact that you had that and gave us that quick demo. See, impromptu demos are great. I love when I catch you off guard. What else you got in there? What other kind of cool stuff do you have in there? You could show it off.
All right, no worries, no worries. So yeah, that's the VB342 Pro. I mean, and again, it has audio fencing, it has audio tracking, it's got presentation tracking. So this one's just tracking based upon just my body detection. But that presentation tracking, like what I was just doing right now, that is in our Cam 550. And so the Cam 550, I have this one up here on the very top. Hold on, I'm switching across various ones, but this one up here, let me turn on the automatic framing portion of it, because that with this camera, it can zoom in pretty far. And so if I'm just going to turn on the auto framing of it. And generally right now it has two lenses. One of them is tracking me. The other one is kind of zoomed in on me. But if I start moving around and or start talking, let's just say I was in a conference room and I was presenting, you can set up the framing to be either really tight, really loose. I got to kind of towards loose or medium. But as I walk around, generally it's going to track me and zoom in where I'm going to be at. Now I'm going to turn off the feature right now because I kind of want to zoom in and show you. I want to zoom in and show you how far it could go. So I'm going to turn off the tracking mode and zoom in on that plan again. But yeah, with the 12 times optical zoom and the digital zoom, it definitely gets in a lot further down to the leaf level. So you're able to get in towards about 60 feet away and frame people up with no issue at all.
I was just sent a message that your plant needs water.
That's a totally fake plant. It would have died a long time ago.
Secrets revealed. The secrets are revealed. We knew that.
Exactly. You need a duster plant is what you should say.
Maybe your plant needs to be dusted. The truth comes out on the Starin town halls. All right, cool. That's thank you for playing. Show me what you got. The next segment of the show, we're going to go back now to the Q&A. And this one's coming in from Jared. Does AVer have options for SDI out in case the feed needs to be displayed on a remote screen?
Oh, great question. SDI or NDI?
Let's go with SDI. You can answer an NDI question. Just tell us about NDI.
Okay. So as far as physical connectivity with SDI, this camera does not, and or the VB342 Pro does not, with the SDI connectivity options. That's more in our Pro AV line that we have, which is more geared towards house of worship, exhibit halls, things of that nature. And so, there are a couple of cameras that we have on there that have similar technology, lenses, image sensors, SAW chips that a little bit higher in price point, but they are decked out for not only SDI connectivity, but NDI connectivity. So we have different SKUs that would have NDI and or SDI connectivity options, but at probably 30 times optical zoom and or 12 times, I believe, at the low end. So.
Yep. SDI and NDI are very popular terms right now, especially with USB having a bit of a trouble right now trying to find extenders. I know that's not something you guys deal with, unfortunately, but
we kind of do. I mean,
you kind of do and you kind of don't. But I meant you don't physically make USB extenders.
You could always go to our website and our knowledge base, and we have updated. I think we're coming out with a new list of updated USB extenders that are certified from us, and so that have been tested in our labs, and we said, okay, these ones are, the ones to go with.
That is probably one of the most popular questions we have is regarding extending USB. Not necessarily on the town hall, but just one that we get in general. People looking for USB extension, NDI, SDI, and I've even heard people going back to. Some people are going back to analog in order to just get by for the next X amount of time until they can get something new and fresh in the space and go back, to extending USB. But we're all hopeful, waiting the time those products are coming in, just taking a little bit, but we'll definitely get to them. And we'll get through this together.
Yeah, we're getting close to just one Ethernet cable, and not only will give you power, but the video protocols go with it as well as control.
So give me the official AVer, I guess, wording on this one, because James asked, when will these start shipping? I'm assuming these are the ones that were just announced. We could talk about your supply chain, because I'll ask that question since nobody's stepped up and asked me that yet. I'm so shocked that I got this far into a call without somebody asking.
That's usually one of the number one questions in webinars and or sales calls.
Exactly.
Yeah, do we have to wait
right out of the gate? But let's first by talking about the ones that you have, that you just released. What are the estimated ship dates, or when are you looking at the release dates for these?
Okay, so for the VB342 Pro, I know a big stock order is coming en route now via boat, because we do manufacture everything from our Taiwan office or our Taiwan plant. So everything is TAA compliant. And so with that, we are being able to get first batches in by the end of June, early July. From the last report that I've seen, and so far numbers are healthy. We don't have any issues with components or any issues like that, especially with what we currently have that's out there. So June, July is the time frame for all the cameras to be in the ship out.
Yep, James, thank you. That was for the new. That was for asking the question regarding the new stuff. So before anybody else pops in with a question, tell me about your current stock of existing models that weren't released at this week, but you guys, your existing models, where are we at as far as stock goes and supply?
Very healthy. As far as our Campfire 20 Pro, VB130s, Cam 130s, those are very healthy in stock in the States within our shipping warehouses. And you could order double-digit numbers if you need to. That's
important, and we do have them in stock, folks. So please, if you're looking to get those in, let's get your orders in. Or if you're going to try these out, again, we do have a try to buy program that can help and assist, especially if you guys are deciding between cameras right now or what different brands and what their functionality is. Sometimes having the one that's in stock is going to win the game. So contact your Starin reps. AVer is in stock, and it is an option for you guys if you're running out of options, especially on the different projects that are out there. So take a look at that. I have another question in from James. James wants to know, how many people can Smart Gallery handle, and what happens if you exceed that number?
Ooh, that's a really great question that fairly confident in answering. I know right now for the gallery view, there's two different gallery views. We either have one where it's kind of like 3 bars. So if there's 3 people in the room, it'll show each person in one of the bars. But I'm not sure if it'll do a video switching in between that, if there's like 5 people in the room or 10 people in the room. But then we're going to have a view that will be a square that will show the whole room, and then a film strip around them in an L configuration. And I think with that one, you get up to 16 people total for that one. I will validate, though. I would need to double check what my lab testing was done, because every time I did it, it was in a beta lab, but had really good feedback on it. So
the early word is that it's a 16-person gallery.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
80% confident with that answer.
Yep. Is that okay, James, or do we have to press him a little harder? Please let me know if we need to really make Carl make a call right in the middle of this town hall to get that answered. That concludes our questions and answers. Carl, tell me, I guess, kind of to wrap it up, let's get to the information that matters for many of these folks that are planning on getting on a plane for the first time in 2+ years and heading to the desert and Vegas and Infocom for that matter. Where are you guys at Infocom? If that rumor is true, where are you located? What's the booth number? Give us the details, because we all need to know.
All right, so we are going to be at Infocom. We're going to have a booth out there. We plan on showing off not only our Pro AV cameras, but our USB peripherals and our K through 12 stuff. So we're going to have a fairly decent booth out there. Now, the number I don't have right on me. I do apologize for that. But if you need to schedule a meeting and or talk with me, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be working the booth. We're going to have a little office set up in that booth. So I'll be more than happy to talk with people and or give demos.
So I will have to one-up you on this one, Carl. You may have an impressive setup there, but I have a friend at AVer who sent me the magic booth number of W2847.
Mr. Dries, thank you, sir.
So Dan Dries is the man when it comes to sending us the booth number. So there you have it, folks. Go visit AVer. You can visit Carl. You can visit Dan, who is secretly lurking in the room, and he just dropped that W2847 is where you can find AVer at Infocom in a few weeks. If you're heading over to the big show in the desert, which we'd like to visit every 2 years in rotation. If you're going to be there, please let us know. Starin will be as well at the trade show. Mark, if you can move to the next slide, that gives us all the details and information, because I'm about to maybe give a little bit of extra information as well. And let me go ahead to answer that. Done. Okay. So we have a special town hall coming up in May. As we can wrap this one up here, we can't announce what that is. Why? Because it's that special. I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't want to give away the secrets. We do have a booth at Infocom. We are very close as well to AVer, because we are also in the West Hall at W1903. That's kind of easy. W1903. That's our booth. You guys need a way to get there. You want to get in for free. There's your VIP code, STA713. That's how you get into the space. Right? That's what you need in order to get your tickets to Infocom, courtesy of Starin. This also gives me an opportunity to talk about our Starin Cares program. We are working with Silver State Dogs to aid disabled military veterans and first responders by providing them a service animal. We're trying to raise funds to do that. It's not an easy or inexpensive endeavor. So we're working with our AV community to help and try to give back to the community. Silver State is local to Las Vegas, so we kind of have an internal philosophy that we like to go into a place and leave it in a better space than we found it in, right? You just don't go throw a party and leave. We want to go ahead and help police the community that we're working in. And we've done it in Orlando before. If you were at Infocom Orlando way back when, many, many moons ago, there are pictures on the internet of people in full Infocom gear rolling around the floor playing with puppies. The puppies were at Infocom. I can't make any promises that the dogs will be there, at least puppy versions of the dogs, but at least 1 or 2 service animals will be there on site for you guys to see. And we're looking for your participation and your donation. So right there on the screen, you can hit that QR code. It takes you to our GoFundMe page that we're working with. And there is also the website, tiny.cc/Starin-cares. That is where you're going to find out more information on how to participate in the Starin Cares charity event that we're working with Silver State Dogs at Infocom. So let's go to the final slide, which is the whole reason why everybody comes. I'm sorry, Carl. You are an entertaining presenter, but everybody's here for the prizes. We are doing a $50 gift card, Amazon gift card giveaway. And if producer Mark can do the lucky spinnerator thing off to the side, and in 1, 2, 3 pops up on my chat. There it is. The $50 gift card to Amazon gift card winner is Catherine Romano. Congratulations, Catherine, for being part of our May Town Hall with AVer. And enjoy the $50 gift card. Buy sunscreen for Infocom and a new pair of insoles. That would be my suggestion if you want to make it through the show and not be in pain. Speaking as somebody with a lot of experience with walking and doing that sort of stuff. So please enjoy. Carl, please give us a little bit of information, or let's get the final. Where can people find you and or AVer, and how can we get a hold of you guys?
Well, you can definitely go to our website at averusa.com. Yes. If you need to get a hold of me, you could always hit me up, first name dot last name at aver.com. That's carl.harvell at aver.com on email, and I'll be more than happy to chat with anybody and or help them out with partnering up and or figuring out if it's the right solution for you. So
we got a personal question. Carl, are you going to be at InfoComm?
I will be at InfoComm. I'm going to be there from Tuesday through Friday. So
I've now added you to my list, so be aware if you see me come rumbling through the hallways. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for everyone who took some time out and come visit us. We apologize about the last minute snafu and change. I know we typically do these things on Thursday. We had a little bit of a scheduling issue. I was stuck on a plane and moving around the different parts of the country. For the first time, I get to use being on a plane as an excuse. Go figure. The world is healing. We're trying to get back to normal. I will unfortunately miss some things. That's the way things work. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of it. My name is Chris Netto. I am the Market Development Manager here at Starin. You can find me on the internet. I'm easy to find on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and do all that. By all means, connect with us. I will be more than happy to address any of your questions. I can actually connect you to Carl and other folks, including Dan, who is on this meeting. So feel free to reach out. That's our job. Our job is to make you guys, work a little bit smarter, a little bit better with your manufacturers and get those manufacturers in. And I need to get you guys in front of these manufacturers so that you know that you have something more than just a box coming to you. You also have a team behind it. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Carl, so much for stopping by the Starin Town Hall. And again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of the May Town Hall. Until next month, I'll see you soon.
Thanks all. Take care.